Stop using ChatGPT. Seriously. At least stop the way you are now, asking it to make you recipes. Write that same old email. You're wasting its potential, but not for long. Because by the end of this video, you'll know how to turn it into a true AI agent that completes tasks for you entirely autonomously. A creative partner that generates incredible images and videos, a strategic partner in your business, and a personal tutor that can teach you anything. These are the 12 secrets that your competition desperately hopes you never learn. Hey, I'm Craig Hewitt. Welcome back to 100 Days of AI. I'm releasing a video every day for 100 days all about AI, technologies, techniques, prompts, and methods so you can be a better business leader and a better person at work. And today we're talking all about ChatGPT. And let's dive in and talk about the very first thing, which is projects. So you have to have a way to keep yourself organized at work. And with AI, it's no different. ChatGPT does this in a really nice way with projects. And projects are just ways to keep chats organized. They have files that you can add to them, and they have a list of the chats that you've had. You can take a look at, I've had several chats here all about my personal brand, and I have files up here about like framework for growing a personal brand, my own personal like LinkedIn positioning, a social post like database of viral posts that I've seen from other creators. And so this is the context that we talk about a lot, right? I'm giving context to any chat that happens in this project. So not only are projects a nice way to organize all of your chats in ChatGPT, they also are a way, kind of like we talked about with Claude projects, to give it additional context and information about the thing that you want it to do, okay? So you can see here, maybe investing, homework, writing, health, right? Okay. So for mine, I have one about kind of each of my areas of business, and I have one for specific things that I want to do. So projects, right out of the gate, if you're not using it, it's an organizational tool. It's also a great way to create extra context around what you're doing. The difference between Claude projects and ChatGPT projects is ChatGPT does not have a concept of a system prompt within the projects area. So you're starting from scratch each time you start a new chat. Okay, similarly, let's talk about GPTs. GPTs are a way to do the same thing over and over in a very specialized way. And so you can see there's both public and private GPTs. Here is kind of the ChatGPT marketplace, if you will. And so you can come in here and search and evaluate, try out all these GPTs. They're all entirely for free. I am on the paid ChatGPT plan. I think it's $20 a month, and you have access to all this and as many as you want. So you can say, hey, let's check out the ones about writing or the ones about education, or I've created a bunch for myself. So like, hey, I have one about writing social posts, and says, hey, what topic do you want to write about? And I'll say creating system prompts in ChatGPT. And it has a bunch of information, context, and specific guidance. And so it's going to go write social posts for me about how to write system prompts in ChatGPT, right? So this is not one-shotting, hey, write me a LinkedIn post about writing system prompts in ChatGPT. There's a whole bunch of stuff in this GPT that I've given it as far as a system prompt, a really detailed system prompt, right? Additional context. So this is where projects and GPTs overlap, is they have this specialized knowledge in common, but GPTs take it a step further with additional system prompting that can get extremely detailed and should be extremely detailed, should be step by step, asking it to check its work, what model to use, what things to do, what things not to do. We covered the 6 aspects of a great prompt previously. You definitely should have all of those in a great system prompt. Okay, so GPT's a cool way to do a specific thing over and over and over. I want to write LinkedIn content. I want to script a YouTube video. I want to create images, which we'll talk about in a minute. I want to write this specific kind of email. Anything you want to do over and over and over, mostly in the same way, but with slightly different inputs, is a great place for a GPT. Okay, so the next one is just writing in general. This is kind of where we all cut our teeth, I think, on ChatGPT, is it's a pretty good writer. It's not the best writer for me these days, but if you only have access to one AI tool and ChatGPT is it, let's talk about how to make it a really good writer. So we want to give our AI tool 6 elements to a great prompt. So let's sketch those out. Okay, so just real quick, the 6 elements of a great prompt: role, task, context, format, examples, and constraints. This should give us a pretty good sense. I've also used ChatGPT a ton, so it just knows a lot about me. So here's a 500-word Hormozy style announcement for Casta's new AI assistant feature. Hey, let's be real, most podcasters fail not because their content sucks, but because no one knows their content exists. You record an episode, upload it, and maybe share it once on social, and then crickets. It's not your fault. Creating an episode already takes blah, blah, blah. Okay, pretty good email, right? It's really long. So like, gosh, that's really too long for me. So maybe I would ask it to do it again. Okay, let's just do that. Let's make it 200 words and make it 200 words. 500 words is kind of a lot for an email. And so you notice there, I put it in the same chat. I think in this case, that would be correct. Put it in the same chat if you're continuing the same thread. If it totally is wrong, start a new chat from scratch. So this is a more kind of appropriate looking email. Okay, so that's cool. Let's just contrast that real quick with, and again, we're just talking about writing. Let's contrast a well prompted writing prompt or task with just this, which is what we all started doing, right? Let's just see what kind of garbage it comes up with here, because we're just not doing a fair job. We're not giving it context. It's just not great. It's kind of boring, right? Okay, so we learned, right? ChatGPT can be a very good writer if you give it a really good prompt. So writing emails, landing page copy, presentations, bullet points, lots of things, right? Use it, work on your prompting, give it examples, probably work in a project where you can seed it with some information like I have here. And I've seeded it with this information. This would just make writing a lot better. Okay, the next one is by far the most common way and place I use ChatGPT is as a brainstorming partner. So I might say something like, help me think through how to promote my AI forward founder coaching program. And so it's going to go do some thinking, and then hopefully it's going to come back to me with questions that it can ask me. So it's 4, because I've already talked about it a lot: reclaim 10 hours a week, differentiator, I'm not just this person, right? And so it's thinking, it's proposing some ideas, and hopefully it'll ask me some questions. So let's see, YouTube, LinkedIn, email. Okay, so it's going to give me all these kinds of things. Okay. So refining this and saying, okay, on YouTube specifically, what are 5 video ideas I could create that would talk to my exact ICP? So it's just giving me ideas, right? So it's a thought partner. It's like, hey, I don't have to do all the critical thinking anymore. I can go and get on first or second base and finish the job from there. Okay. So a thought partner, really helpful. And then I might ask, what am I not thinking about, right? So this is probably my favorite. Oh, positioning beyond AI. AI is hot but noisy. Yep. Credibility improve. Your ICP doesn't buy coaching; they buy certainty. Okay. Offering mechanics, conversion event. Like, how am I going to get folks to sign up? Join the email list if you want to learn more about this. High ticket system. All right, I'll need scorecards, playbooks, category design. Right. A thought partner. Right. Hey, help me come up with a bunch of ideas, refine them. Tell me what I might not be thinking about so that I can refine this further, and help me just run a better business. Help me run my business in a more complete way so all the pressure is not on me, right? I'm leaning on ChatGPT a lot here. Okay, the next one is ChatGPT is a really good image generation tool, maybe the best out there. We did a video on the 2.5 Flash Gemini model, the Nano Banana. It was pretty incredible, but this is pretty incredible too. Let's ask ChatGPT the same thing we asked the Nano Banana. So say create an image, and I'll just upload an image of myself just to make it easier. All right, let's see what it does. And so I typically find generative image and video and audio, not a one-shot kind of thing. So it might be the kind of thing where you need to tweak it, but we'll talk about how you can tweak it pretty easily in ChatGPT. This also does take a bit of time. I believe also that the image generation option is only available on the paid plan, but don't quote me on that. Okay, that's pretty good actually, right? I did a good job of taking my likeness, I think. This is the picture back when I had longer hair. Has the hair right. It looks like a person. I'm on the beach in the snow. So for a prompt, whatever a 10-word prompt, this is pretty incredible. I want to point out that you can edit images in ChatGPT. So click the image and then click the little lasso and come up here and say, highlight the shirt maybe, and say, make the shirt purple. And it ought to just consider the spot that you highlighted and the prompt that you gave it from there. So it'll re-render the whole image, hopefully just affecting the spot that you highlighted. I like this because highlighting and describing the area you highlighted ought to be a little more contextual than just using words, because it might not know exactly what you're referring to. But the lasso tool should give you a little more concise editing and revision than just using words alone. Okay, great. It did a good job. We when I used the lasso tool, I did start it way over here. Otherwise, it got the shirt perfectly right. Interestingly, the background is a little different than it was before. But if I wouldn't have been kind of lazy with the lasso tool selecting this area over here, it would have been perfect. So pretty cool way to generate images is with ChatGPT. Similarly, Sora is the video model from OpenAI and ChatGPT. And so you can create movies just with text in here. And so we're going to do the same thing. Okay, so uploading a different image of me, gosh, arguably from a few years ago. And we're going to storyboard this first. So it's going to be a video in vertical format, 480p for 5 seconds. And let's see what it does. Okay, it's working right now. It's in the queue. It's going to go away and do some work. We'll come back when it's done and I'll show you the video and what it's all about. Okay, the video's almost done rendering, and let's take a look at what it does here. Pretty cool. Okay, so it's like got the likeness of me for sure. I'm on the beach in a snowstorm. So it's interesting. It doesn't, it's not perfect, right? And I think that's just AI. Like this one's pretty good here. This one is not, and I don't know what's going on over here. So, you know, this is a work in progress. I think video has the longest way to go of all AI. Text is kind of done. Oh, it's getting better, I guess, over time. Oh my goodness, I don't know if it's getting better or worse. So, anyways, that's Sora. Definitely play around with it. I think there's some really interesting applications for this. I probably would also check out Google's VO3 video model if you want to create like production ready video. Okay, the next place that I use ChatGPT is on my phone. So I like to use voice mode wherever I can. We've talked about Super Whisper before, and so it has voice mode on the computer, but I just use the built-in talk feature on ChatGPT. So if you can see it here, just press this button here and it activates voice mode. Got it. So I'll just keep it simple. Hey, tell me a recipe for butter chicken, please.
Sure. For classic butter chicken, you basically marinate chicken in yogurt and spices, then cook it in a creamy tomato sauce with butter and maybe a bit of cream. It's a cozy and delicious dish.
Cool. Give me a grocery list for 4 people so I can make that tonight, as well as a detailed recipe of everything I need to do.
Absolutely. So, for a butter chicken that feeds four, you'll want to grab things like boneless chicken thighs, some Greek yogurt, spices like garam masala, cumin, coriander, and of course, a can of crushed tomatoes, cream.
Cool. So it gives me everything right here in the mobile app. I can talk to it. So while you're on the go, walking the dog, my favorite thing these days is I put my AirPods in and I talk to ChatGPT or Claude or Manus about what I'm doing instead of just like mindlessly consuming a bunch of garbage. I'm creating, I'm strategizing, I'm thinking on my feet as I'm going. ChatGPT is my thought partner for a lot of things, and so I'm talking to it often either in voice mode or just speech to text. I find that's a little more cohesive. And for that, just what I mean is instead of voice mode here, what I'll do is just use the voice to text on my iPhone. give me a recipe for butter chicken to feed four. So it gives me something like that. Okay. Okay. So download the mobile app. Actually, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Manus, Perplexity all have mobile apps. Download them. I love them. They're really great. They are exact replicas of the functionality. It just is sometimes it's better to use these on the go than at your computer. Okay, the next thing I like to do with ChatGPT is take pictures of stuff and have it tell me what this thing is, right? So I'll start a new chat here and just upload a picture and have it tell me what it is, literally. Oh, I even mistyped this. What is this? What kind of animal is this? This is a photograph of a bison. Pretty cool. Yes, explain how I can tell the difference between a bison and a buffalo. Pretty could and so you can imagine the same thing like grocery pictures. Let's just get a picture. Mm, let's get this picture right here. Oh, let's test this and see if it can tell us how old these bananas are. Pretty cool. Okay, so use it for image analysis. Like, hey, what kind of plant is this? What kind of car is this? How old is this person? What kind of clothes are they wearing? Maybe. Like, you can use it for all sorts of stuff. Again, especially handy on the mobile app as you're often out on the go and want to know stuff. You don't have to be able to describe it in words. You can just take a picture and have it tell you about stuff. Okay, the next one is I use AI and ChatGPT actually, especially to analyze business documents, legal contracts, non competes, non disclosures, proposals, things like that. Like, I'm not an attorney. I don't want to pay my $500 an hour attorney to analyze something that a ChatGPT can do. Tip on this: if you're uncertain about this, just do the same thing in ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini, and then compare the results. So let's just do that. Say, so I'm uploading a non disclosure agreement that I got. And it's saying, hey, like, okay, the governing law here is British Columbia. That's kind of weird. I'm based in the US. Non-solicitation clause, that makes sense. Confidentiality duration, 5 years, is on the long side. 2 or 3 is more typical. Return, blah 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 blah. Right? I'm not an attorney. I don't want to be an attorney. I don't want to pay my attorney $500 to give me this information. I could do this, do the same thing in two other models probably, and be well on my way. If nothing else, if you're still unsure about this, you could go then to your attorney and say, hey, I took a look at this. These are the three things I'm worried about. What else do you see going on here? Just to get a little further ahead. Okay, the next thing where ChatGPT actually really shines is in its connectors. And so what I mean by connectors is instead of just using ChatGPT just to be a ping-ponging of text with you, we've got it like it surfs the net right now. Like, it goes out into the internet, looks for recipes about butter chicken, and returns them to us if it doesn't know that already. It also can connect to other tools that you use in your business. And so you do that by clicking the plus button and say use connectors. And so these sources can be things like Gmail. I already have Gmail connected to my account. So I could say to it, like, tell me about how I'm spending my time at work in the last 2 weeks. Have I been productive or not? What are the big themes going on in my life these days based on my inbox? You could do the same with calendar, contacts, Box, Dropbox, Canva, and all of these, right? These are tools that have built deep integrations with ChatGPT. And so if you're using Notion, you could have the ability to talk to your Notion from within ChatGPT. Obviously, there's some kind of securities and privacy considerations here. So don't just go do this without your eyes wide open. But if you're like, hey, I want to take this to the next level, I want to take this up to an 11, connect ChatGPT as maybe the place where you do a lot of your work to the other places that you're doing work, so it's not operating in a silo. This is all the way back to the context discussion earlier. Is a prompt by itself is kind of garbage, right? Give it more context, it'll do a better job of helping you out. Okay, the next place that I really love ChatGPT is in learning. Give me a detailed plan for learning French. Start with travel and related phrases and vocabulary. And then again, click the button and say more, study, and learn. And so what this doing is here is kind of going into academic mode and giving you specific information about the thing that you're talking about. So weeks 1 to 2, core travel phrases. Bonjour, merci, excusez-moi, oui, je ne parle pas français. I speak French, so this is kind of cheating, right? La décision, s'il vous plaît. Right, so it's like cool. I don't have to go buy a book. I don't have to go freaking listen to a podcast. I can just talk to ChatGPT. Again, if you pair that with ChatGPT mobile, it can then just talk to you and talk you through all this stuff. So, pretty cool. Enabling study or learning mode here. All these platforms have a similar thing. A cool way to learn stuff in a structured and kind of safe and regulated environment that may be more distraction free than something like YouTube where you have ads popping up all the time. Okay, and the last thing I want to show you here about ChatGPT is agent mode. Agents are really where all this is going. So agents, we've talked about it a couple times. There's three elements to an agent. One is a model. So ChatGPT would be the model, or the ChatGPT 5 specifically would be the model. It has memory built in, right? It knows stuff and can remember stuff, and it has access to tools like the web or Notion or Gmail or your calendar or whatever. And so if we enable agent mode here, we could ask it to, we'll just do this one. Book Mexico City birthday trip dinners on OpenTable. Plan a 3-night birthday weekend for 6 in Mexico City next month. Search OpenTable availability, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So it's going to go out in real time and we'll be able to watch it do this. View the internet, look for restaurants in Mexico City, plan 3-night vacation. This is going to take a while. So this is not something that we're going to like be able to watch it finish here. It'll probably take 10 minutes to do all this. But if you imagine like you have a tab here and you start another tab with another agent and you tab another tab with another agent, like you don't have to sit here and click and go and do all this kind of stuff. It's searching OpenTable for availability. It's verifying all these Michelin style restaurants. It's seeing what's available. It's going to give you a few recommendations maybe, and then you can make a decision. Even if it doesn't completely finish the job for you, you've put in 3 seconds of work. It's going to do 15 minutes of research, and then you can make a decision from there. That was pretty fast, actually. It's thought for just under 2 minutes, 25 sources, and has the plan for a trip to Mexico City for 6 people, booking, reservation options, open table here, and it's got this all ready for me. Okay, so agents, a way to go out into the world with tools to do stuff. That's the simple version of it, right? And so if you want a little more comprehensive thing than just, and so you can see here what the agent is doing as it's kind of going through its steps here, right? So it's going through OpenTable and making sure that 6 people are available on October 15th or whatever it was. So you don't have to do all this stuff, right? So the recommendations it's given us up here, these restaurants are available on the dates where we told it we wanted to go in the place. So pretty cool. Okay. So that's 12 of the kind of many things that ChatGPT can do that really extend your ability to be an AI forward leader. And so if you're watching this and you're like, hey, that's cool. I want to take the next step. I want to go from like we're at level 2 to level 8. I've put together a free resource for you. Link is in the description below. It's a 30-day kind of accelerator program where I take and walk you step by step through how to think about AI and use tools like ChatGPT and in this way to become a better business person, a better leader, and a better person kind of all around in this AI era. Link is in the description below. It's entirely free. It's my gift to you. I hope you enjoy it. As always, if you're enjoying, please like, subscribe, smash the bell, and share this with a friend. That's really how the word gets out about hopefully all the good work that I'm doing here. If you could share this with somebody or on social media, that would be amazing. It would totally make my day.